Hey everyone. Okay, sorry. It's super dark and I'm a couple minutes late. I didn't have my phone and I was out driving. Okay, so I'm just setting up. Today I am talking about the old way versus the new way. And this is a topic that I think comes up a lot because the number one thing that people say to me is like, oh, Coach Crystal, I need a coach in the arena with me. Okay, that's one of the big things that people like to talk about. I really need a coach inside the arena with me. So today I want to talk about the old way versus the new way and how you're really limiting yourself if that's your thought process. Okay, if you're stuck on these old ways and this old way of thinking, then you're going to have a really hard time. You're going to have a really hard time because the new way is so much better. Okay, the new way is so much better. So let's dive in. Okay, let's dive in. If you guys are joining me live right now, just let me know where in the world you're watching from. Okay, I'm here in Spain. It's super dark right now. That's why I'm a little bit black, a little bit black because. Anyways, yes, comment where in the world you are joining me from, and I love to see how international we really are. So the one thing that I want to talk about is this concept of what's a instructor versus what is a coach. Okay, because again, when people say, "Oh, I really need an instructor in the arena with me," okay, most people, and again, this is the old way. Most people, this is what they do. Okay, let me paint the picture for you. France, woohoo! I got somebody joining from France. Woo! Most people, this is what they do. They pay an instructor for an hour of their time. Okay, they exchange money for time. You give me a 1 hour lesson, and I will give you money. And that's the old way. Okay, so they pay money for the so called 1 hour. And this is what the instructors do. The instructors, they have your money. They already have your money. Okay, and they know that you're paying for an hour. Okay, you're paying for an hour of their time. They already have your money. So they are just going to do whatever it is that they need to do in that hour to make you feel like you're doing something. Okay, moving you around basically. So, jump this, circle there, do that, stop there. They're just kind of moving you around to time pass. But then they're also, throwing you little tidbits of information or a few little pointers and suggestions here and there. Okay, that's how they kind of time pass for an hour. Also, instructors, what they do is, and I'm talking about an instructor who does this for a living, by the way. Okay, an instructor who that's their job. Okay, that's how they pay their bills. They go to the barn, they give their lessons. Okay, they exchange money for time, they give their lessons, and then that's it. They go home, they think about their own horses, they think about their own lives. They're not really involved in your life. They don't know what you do after your lesson. They don't know much about you, maybe a little bit here or there. But really and truly, they see you for their 1 hour, and then it's like next, and then they move on to the next person. Okay, that's the instructor way. That's the old way. Also, the thing that instructors do is because they have so many students, I remember when I was working at a horse stables where that's what they hired me to do. They hired me to just give out lessons, basically. They had some show jumping horses that they wanted me to kind of ride around and, keep in training for the clients. But mostly that stables, they just wanted me to give lessons, right? They wanted me to be a coach and give and like 70, 80 students every single week. Can you imagine 80 students a week? Okay. Yes, I could kind of remember all of them. I don't remember any of them anymore. Okay, I can remember maybe one or two. I don't remember their names. Okay, I remember the horses that they rode, but I don't remember 80 students a week. I don't remember them. Okay, so that wasn't for me. That wasn't my path. I didn't stay at that job because I didn't want to be an instructor. Okay, but instructors, what they do, they have 70 students a week or 100 students a week if they're doing group lessons. And so what do? They set one exercise that week, which they take all of their students through. And as a jumping instructor, you could set up a grid, let's say, make all of the super beginners do it as cross rails, make a little bit more advanced students do it as cross rails and some verticals or some offers. And for your more advanced students, you just put it up to height. Okay, so you set up one exercise for the week. Doesn't matter, the different riders or whatever, like they're not personalizing it. It's not tailored for you and your horse. Maybe that exercise isn't even relevant to your goals or your training plan. Just because it's a grid does not actually mean that it's beneficial to you and your horse, by the way. Just because you Googled an exercise on YouTube or you are in some fancy Instagram group or Facebook group where it looks really pretty, like all these thousands of poles laid out on the arena. Like, yes, that looks pretty for an Instagram picture, but is it actually relevant to you and your horse's training and to your horse's goals? Is it actually aligning with what it is that you want to accomplish in the next month, week, year? Is it? Okay. Instructors don't care. Okay. Again, that's the old way. They just set up whatever exercise they Googled or they read or they saw for that week, and they make every single horse and every single student go through that exercise. There's no personalization. There's no tailoring it. Okay. There's also no accountability. There's no accountability because, again, 80 students in a week. 80 students a week. You pay them, they give you their time, their 1 hour, and then that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Okay, if you're that person that you're riding 5 times a week, maybe you're riding with the instructor once or twice a week, but that means there's 3 or 4 other rides that you're riding. They don't care. Okay, they don't care about that. They don't care what you're doing in your free time, because actually, when you met as an instructor, it's better for them because that means you're going to pay them next week so that they can go undo everything that you did. Okay, so it's a business for them. Okay, that's kind of the instructors who do this as a day job again. Okay, so there's no accountability. Okay, it's just, here's my hour. I'll see you next week. That's it. There's no accountability. The other thing is there's no actual training plan. Do you think the instructor who's running their own stables, having 20, 70 horses in their stables and their care that they have to care for, vet bills, all these things, farriers, vaccines, they have to organize all this stuff, coordinate stuff, organize all of the staff, all of the people who are help cleaning up for horses, caring for horses, trying to figure out how to pay bills, trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. Do you honestly believe that instructor has the time and the energy to develop a customized personal training plan for 80 students? Of course not. Okay, they don't care. There is no training plan. Again, they're picking kind of 1 or 2 exercises that they're familiar with, and they're making all their students do it. Okay, there is no training plan. There's not. And you know how I know this? Because I've seen some of you guys, and I talked on the phone to some of you guys, and you're telling me, I've been taking riding lessons with this instructor for 4 times a week for the past 4 years. I'm like, great. How many levels have you improved? I'm like, oh, well, none. Of course not. Okay, of course not. So this is why. Again, old way versus new way. I'm still painting the old way picture for you guys. I hope this is like ringing some bells for some of you. I hope some of you guys are like, oh my God, that's my instructor. Oh my God, that's my situation. Okay, if that's you, I want you to like comment right now, like guilty. Okay, guilty, guilty, guilty. Yeah. Also, I remember, and this is terrible, I read a book. I was buying a bunch of books on Amazon about horses just because I was kind of reigniting, let's say, my love of horses, and I was just reading a bunch of fiction books. And there was this girl, and the character in the book was a horse trainer. And even in this book, the author also, who's worked in the industry with horses for many years, the author also painted the picture and admitted that the trainer who was getting paid money to ride, her goal was to make the rider good enough to be able to ride the horse without her, okay, on its own, because that's how she was getting paid. Okay, so she actually made a comment in this book of like, oh, I have to school the horse a little bit, but not too much, because she still wanted to get money for riding that horse. Okay, so some of you guys also, you're like, oh, I need a horse trainer. No, why don't you become the horse trainer? Okay, why don't you train your horse? And I know some of you think you can't. Okay, that's my actual literal job, is giving you a training plan and making you step into the shoes of being a trainer, because you can't ride if you're not able to kind of train and school your horse. Okay, if you need to give your horse to somebody else to ride it for you, then you're not doing a good job. Okay, that's just called laziness, because there's absolutely nothing that they can do that you can't learn how to do. Okay, that's just pure laziness. So yeah, even in this book, they were like admitting the fact that the trainer doesn't want to lose out on that income. Okay, doesn't want to lose out on that income of not being able to ride that horse once a week. So again, that's the instructors. Okay, that's the old way. And again, how many of you guys are doing that right now? How many of you? I want you to see. I want to see how many of you guys are actually paying money for somebody to ride your horse once a week. Let me know. And I know it's a lot of you because I'm on the phone with you guys. I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, I know it's a lot of you. Here's the other thing. Instructors have what I would call, let's say, the 9 to 5 mentality. Okay. There's a difference between a business mentality, an entrepreneurial mentality versus the 9 to 5 mentality. The 9 to 5 mentality is, again, you kind of punch in, you punch out. Okay. You kind of do your work when you're there. Yes, you can be good at your job, you could be dedicated to it, but still it's a job. Like a job is a job is a job, right? Punch in, punch out, go home. You still have your own personal life. You still have your own shit going on. Okay. That's like the 9 to 5 person. Okay. That's what an instructor is because they get paid per hour. They're 9 to 5 people. Okay. 9 to 5 people with a horsey schedule. Right. But that's their type of thinking, is my point. That's their mindset. That's the way that they process the world versus an entrepreneurial brain or a business thinking brain. Are you kidding me? We don't have it. Okay. If you're a coach, and that's again the difference between a coach and an instructor, coaches don't have an off switch. Okay. Me personally, my students, my clients, they message me day, night, weekends, like sun up, sundown, whatever. I'm so involved in their life. I know them on a first name basis, last name basis. I know their horses. I know what they did this week. And I know that for all of them, by the way. I know where they're going. I know what their goals are. I know what they're working on. I know what they're struggling with. I know how to get them there. Okay. I don't have an off switch. Okay. I don't have an off switch. When you are an entrepreneurial thinker, then you don't have an off switch because it consumes you. Okay. It consumes everything that I do. And I have this disease. I don't know if you guys know anyone who has this disease. It's pretty severe for me. It's called overachieveness. Okay. I've had this disease since I was a baby. There is no cure. Okay. And I have a pretty extreme, like high level of this disease, by the way, overachieveness. I can't get rid of it. Okay. My husband has to live with the fact that his wife is suffering from overachieveness. But the thing about people that are overachievers, it's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. Okay. So it's a blessing because I'm an overachiever. I have gotten to, travel places. I've gotten to meet people. I've gotten to do things in my life that most people who aren't overachievers will never experience. They'll never see. You don't have to fly to Iraq to ride show jumping horses because guess what? I did that. Okay. You don't have to do that because I'm an overachiever and I'm suffering from this overachieving disease. And I did that for you. Okay. I went to Iraq. I went to, Bhutan. I went to India. I went to Egypt. I went to Belgium. I went to Germany. I went to so many different, I've been to 60 countries, people. I've been to so many countries seeking answers, going to places that no one else on this planet, name one other person that you know who voluntarily in their 20s as a blonde solo traveler girl went to Iraq to ride show jumping horses. Name one person. You're not going to find one. Okay, that was me. So, you don't have to. I went and I sought all of that knowledge for you guys. Okay, because of my overachieveness, I went to those places. And so it's a blessing because I got to see and do things and experience things and ride horses in places we'll never get to experience. But it's also kind of a curse because for me personally, because I suffer from this overachieveness disease, nothing is ever good enough, which means I have very high standards. Okay. I have very high standards over my coaching programs. I have very high standards over my business. I have very high standards of everything that I do. My VIP Inner Circle, for example, I started it for the first time a little less than a year ago, maybe 8-9 months ago, something like that. The first people that got in, so they were doing the VIP thing and it was really cool. I was interacting with them. They were like getting ridiculous results super fast. Like it was just insane how fast they were getting results. And, a normal person who doesn't have this disease, a normal person would say, great, that's my program. Let's just leave it at that. Like case closed. I'm doing a good job. Like move on with my day. That's not me. I'm an overachiever. So what did I do? I decided, how else can I support that? How else can I make this? Like my goal is to make my coaching programs and our curriculum literally the greatest coaching programs on the face of the earth. Like that's my goal. I don't want to settle for low standards here. So I was like, okay, where do they need support? And I realized that some of them, especially in the winter, started to lose a bit of momentum. So what did we do? We introduced momentum calls. Okay. They actually have a coach that calls them on the phone every single week and does these momentum calls with them. It wasn't just that. I was doing, I think, twice a month coaching calls where I would jump on, answer the questions, apart from obviously the other things we're doing. And then January hit and I was like, no, you know what? I got to do better. I got to do better than what we did last year. So what did I do? Again, a normal person who's not an overachiever, they probably would have done like, oh, let's just add, a coaching call every week. I said, screw that. I'm an overachiever. 5 times a week. I'm going to jump on every single day, Monday through Friday, and talk about different topics, horsemanship Mondays, dressage Tuesdays, sticky butt Wednesdays, jumping Thursdays, and then endurance and trail Fridays. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been jumping on every single day. It's been great because everyone's sending me videos now, and oh man, I'm all over this topics. Anyways, yeah, so we have different themes and topics, but that's just me. Okay. I am consumed by my client success. I am consumed by believe with my heart it's the greatest coaching on the face of the earth. And so yes, for those people who are like, oh, I just want an hour-long instructor to stand in the arena with me, shout at me things like make a circle and stop here and go over that jump, you're missing out. You're missing out because the old way is limiting so many of you. Okay, the old way is limiting so many of you. And again, if you're watching live or you're watching in the replay and you are currently doing the old way, I want you to comment right now, old way. Okay, I want you to comment right now, old way. I hope you guys are having some like epiphanies and ahas and like, oh my God, I've been doing it the old way. Yeah, you need to embrace the new way. So the new way. Let's paint a picture a little bit of the new way. Okay, I've gone a little bit into the old way. Oh no, I had one more story I want to tell you guys. Oh man, this one breaks my heart. I almost don't want to tell this story, but I feel like I have to. So if you're watching and you want to hear the story, I want you to like comment right now, like, tell it, Crystal, tell it. Otherwise, I'll just skip it. Okay, I was in Italy, and there was this lady. She's 75. She's been a BHS instructor for the past, 60 years, something like that. Yes, you are new way. Woohoo. Anyways, this lady, she's super friendly. She's been an instructor for the past like 60 years teaching the BHS style. Anyways, I don't, interact with them so much. We were just boarding our horses there. And basically I sat around in the evening with her and some of her students because I was done kind of, with my horses. And so I sat around with her, and all of a sudden her and her students, they start bragging about all these like times that they fell off and then broke bones and then continued riding their horse. And one of her students shared a story how, during the lesson or whatever, her horse bucks her off, she breaks her wrist, she gets back on, and she goes to the hospital later. And meanwhile, this lady is kind of looking at her with stars in her eyes, like, wow, my student, is such a tough rider, such a tough lady. And I was actually cringing listening to this story because I know I've been coaching thousands of people all around the world for the past 20 years almost. 20 years, you guys. Like, that's insane that I've been doing this for that long. Almost 20 years, 18 years. But almost 20 years I've been doing this. I do not have not one students that I've coached, that I've trained, that have ever gotten injured. Okay? Never had a student bragging about breaking their wrist, breaking their bones, going to the hospital. This never happened. Ever. And I've been doing this a while. And I work with show jumpers, by the way. Show jumpers are the most prone to fall off because what happens when a horse stops at a 1.60 meter jump? Like, it happens. Even the best riders in the world. But I don't have any stories. Not one of my students has a story like this. Because me personally, I am more proud of the fact that my students have sticky butts and have a solid riding foundation and an independent rein, seat, and leg aid than I am bragging that they're really tough because they broke their wrist and continued to ride and went to the hospital later. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want my students bragging about that. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Okay, I see we have some comments. New way, yeah. Old way was where I started years ago. We all did. We all started there. I definitely started there. But you don't have to stay there. That's the whole point. I have moved on for the most part. It's hard to break old habits. You know how you break old habits? You do something completely different. Yeah. If you just keep doing the same, that's the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's called insanity. Okay, you need to take the leap. Okay, you need to do something completely different. Yeah, trust the process. Get a training plan. Get a coach. Okay, I just started. I started last week my very first personal trainer. It's a virtual personal trainer. So I hired a virtual personal trainer, and you know what's so great? And I want to compare this again to coaches versus instructors. An instructor, again, that 9 to 5 personality. They see you as basically exchanging money for time. Okay, you pay me $100, I give you an hour of my time. Okay, that's the 9 to 5 instructor mentality. A coach, just like a personal trainer. A personal trainer is not a very good personal trainer if they don't care about what you're doing the other days that they don't see you. Okay, because the personal trainer's job is to make your body look amazing. And if you're eating donuts 5 times a day and you're being lazy and you're not going for walks and you're not exercising on the days I don't see you, that makes me look bad as a personal trainer, right? It means you're not going to get skinny. You're not going to get the body that you want. So, personal trainer's job is literally to take on your goals as their own and like kick your butt into shape and like make you. They're there to encourage you, to guide you, to mentor you, to support you. It's not just you pay me some money, I give you an hour of my time. No, they're all up in your business. They're like, what are you eating? What did you eat? What are you eating? When am I going to see you next? When are you coming in? Let me write that down. Let me write down the appointment for you. Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow on the day I'm not seeing you? Oh, you're sore? Let me give you a few stretches. So that way tomorrow you can do those stretches so you're not sore. Okay, personal trainer, they're all up in it. Okay, and that's how I am as a coach. Okay, that's how I am as a coach. An instructor, 9 to 5, I'll see you next week. A coach, me, what I do, it's completely different. It's unlike anything you've ever seen because no other equestrian on this planet is doing this. It's so cool that I get to do this because I'm a freaking overachiever. It's so cool. But yeah, like I get to be all up in it. Okay, my clients, they're sending me pictures of their bits. They're sending me pictures of their saddles. They're sending me pictures about anything. They're sending me videos of them riding. They're sending me videos of them lunging their horse. They're sending me videos of them brushing their horse and saddling their horse because the horse isn't standing still. They're literally sending me videos of everything. How freaking cool is that? Okay. My clients, like they're on a training plan. They're on a path. I know their names. I know their horses. I know what they're doing on. Like I know what they're working on. I know their whole backstory. Like this is a relationship. Okay. I know your goals, not just your vague goals. Not like, oh, I want to be Grand Prix someday, maybe. No. Like, what are you doing next week? Yeah, what are you doing next week? What are you doing next month? What competitions are you signed up for next month? Oh, great. Let's like jump on a call. Let's like hash out your training plan leading up to the competitions. Okay, it's not like bye-bye, I'll see you next week. No. There's competition. Which competition are you doing? What level? Great. Let's talk about the training plan to get you there. Okay, big difference. Big difference, old way versus new way. Okay, old way versus new way. Okay, let me just check my notes. I know this is like a long topic, which I would talk about for hours and hours because I'm like, kind of drives me crazy a little bit. Anyways, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope some of you guys realize that some of you are literally doing the definition of insanity. Some of you guys are stuck in the old way and you've been kind of holding yourself back because you're scared or worried or nervous about trying the new way. And the new way is virtual coaching. The new way is me. Be basically your personal trainer, right? For horses. I'm like your butler. Tell me what goals you have. You tell me where it is you want to go, what level you're at, and I basically make you fabulous and a rock star. So yeah, that's kind of my evil plan for you. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. By the way, if you want a coach and you are interested in working with me, we do have some space in our Riding Masters Academy. This is my coaching program. This is where you get to work with me personally. Okay, you could send me these videos that I'm talking about, horsemanship, riding, like sticky butt stuff. You get to send me videos. We get like a personal relationship. I'm going to be your basically horsey butler personal trainer. Okay, so it's not just an online course. I don't do online courses because I don't think people in that way really. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's, the amount of people that make mistakes because they watch a video. Everyone interprets things differently. I can't tell you how many times I explained to somebody, or I made a video and I thought in that video, I explained it perfectly. Like, this is how you do it. There's no room for errors. Like I mapped it out. There was a demonstration. There was this, there's audio, all these things. And then guess what? My clients will send me a video and I'm like, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. Okay, this happens. Okay, because everyone has their own interpretation. Everyone has different horses, different personalities, different learning styles. Okay, are you a kinetic learner? Are you a visual learner? Are you an audio learner? Like, we all have different things, and that's why having a coach is so valuable. Okay, so if that's you and you're interested in having a coach, you're interested in working with me and joining my Writing Masters Academy. Okay, you want a one-on-one relationship and a training plan, and you want to go places with your life, then what I want you to do is go ahead and put a purple heart emoji down below into the comments. And basically, I will reach out to you, or someone on my team will reach out to you, and let's jump on a call and let's kind of talk a little bit more in depth about your goals, your struggles, your challenges, your personal situation, and yeah, kind of go from there. Okay, so thank you so much again for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. Yeah, comment purple heart emoji. We'll reach out, get in touch, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone.